Hey guys, tonight I'm starting a 9-hour run at 6 p.m. and I'm going to be finishing up at 3 a.m. This is practice for my 100-miler Hotfoot Hamster coming up at the end of May. It's not just about the distance, it's about running through the night and dealing with sleep deprivation for the first time. I've never done a full overnight run like this before, so this is about time on feet and really dialing in my nutrition and making sure I'm ready for race day. If you're new here, hi, my name is Dia. I normally post videos on planning, planners, and organizing content, but recently I started sharing some of my running journey with you guys. Over the past 2 years, I began ultra running, and this is going to be my first 100-miler. The farthest I've run is 100K, and this is the first time I'll be running through the night like this, like I said. So decided to pick up the camera and share this with you guys, just in case any of you out there are ultra runners looking for some inspiration, or if you have no idea what it is and want to know more about it, I thought I would share it with you guys. And I don't even know if I'll end up posting this, but I figured it would be good practice if anything, because next week is my peak week of training and I wanted to share that with you guys. I find a lot of inspiration from these videos. I love watching how people live their life and do a training plan. I am lucky enough to be self-employed, so I'm able to get a lot of this training in. But yeah, just thought I'd share it with you guys. And right now I should have dinner made already. My pre-long run dinner is usually homemade spaghetti with meat sauce. It's homemade, so I know what's in it. It digests well, and I usually feel really good the next morning when I go for my run. I'm a little bit worried because it's 3 p.m. right now. I'll probably eat at 3:30, and then it's only going to be about 2.5 hours before I start running. So I'm going to have a small bowl to make sure it's nice and digested and doesn't come back to haunt me during my run. I'm really excited. I'm really nervous. I don't have to do too much prepping with running gear because I'm just doing a 5-mile loop around my neighborhood. So I'm not going to have my hydration vest or anything like that on. I need to prep my food and snacks for tonight as well. So not too much. This isn't a trail run like I normally do, which usually requires a lot of packing and making sure I have everything I need, making sure all my hydration is with me. This is actually, I don't want to say easy because it's not easy, obviously. It's easier to prep for than my trail races because I'm just running my neighborhood. So let me stop procrastinating and let's get started on dinner. Dinner, early lunch was good, but I feel a little bit worried because the red sauce can kind of be acidic and give me indigestion sometimes. I think I'll be okay. I don't think I ate too much. I had that and a piece of bread, and hopefully I won't regret it. I still have an hour and a half, but I'm starting to feel the pressure of needing to make sure I'm ready to go on this run. And one of the things that I need to do is set up my watch. I do a run walk, especially when you're running for as many hours as I'm running. I wouldn't last if I just ran the entire time. And honestly, the run walk method is really beneficial for several reasons. I've tested it, and when I've done long runs and ran the entire time, I'd say I'd average an 11:30 to 12-minute pace. But when I do a run walk, my pace is actually a little bit faster. And there's several reasons for that I don't want to get into right now. I am going to set up my watch because I'm doing run walk intervals, and I have them set up for my last run on Sunday, which was a 6-hour run. So I need to extend it to a 9-hour run. I'm trying not to panic. I feel really tired right now. I'm also training for a run at the Grand Canyon next weekend on the 8th. And it's Grand Canyon River and back. We start at the top of South Kaibab, run down to the river, and then run hike back up. I did it last year with my coach and a couple of other people from our run club, and it was so much fun, and we're going to do it again this year. The challenge isn't so much the run or the hike itself. The challenge is trying to keep up with the guys that I'm running with, because I am the only female that's going, and they all have long legs too. So I've been training really hard, mainly just to try to keep up with them. So I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays victory steps to help get elevation and climbing in there. I'll try to insert a clip of the steps. I think there's 300 and something steps, and I'm up to 18 sets of steps. So I'm feeling it today. And not only that, I got sick about 2 weeks ago, really sick, and the congestion is just like not going away. So I'm still recovering from my sickness. My body is pretty sore from all the steps that I've been doing. So I'm really grateful that today's run is just pretty flat and on a flat surface. A lot of it is on like a dirt path, so it'll be easy on my body. Try not to think too much about it and just go, because once I get started, I know I'll be fine. I'll see if I can show you guys how I do this. Okay, I'm gonna go into my training workouts. The intervals that I'm doing are a 175 meter run, 75 meter walk. That's really hard to do when I first start out, because I feel like I barely start running and I'm walking again. But believe me, 3-4 hours later, I'm like looking forward to those little walks. So I do that for an hour. And then at the end of the hour, I do a 350 meter run and a 150 meter walk, just to kind of switch it up a bit and get my legs moving. I have a repeat on here. I have run 170 meters, 75 meters, recover 75 meters. And I do that 33 times. And then I do the 350 and the 150. I do that one time, and then it repeats. So what I need to do is keep making this repeat, because right now, let me see if you, I don't know if you can see, right now it only goes to 6 hours and 25 minutes. I need to keep adding to it to make it go to 9 hours. I wish there was like a duplicate thing, but there isn't. So I have to add another repeat, and we'll do it 33 times. Run for meters, 175, done. And then recover for distance, meters, 75. So that's another 33 repeat of that. And then I need to add one repeat of the 350. So run, meters, 350, done, recover, distance, meters, 150, done. And this is only one time, not two. And now we are at 7 hours and 29 minutes. It's so tedious. I wish there was another way to do this. And if somebody knows how, let me know. I'm not gonna have to use my watch like this for the race day because it's a loop that we're running around at Nardini Manor, and I'm gonna use landmarks instead of distances like this so that I don't have to set up my watch for 24 hours because that's how long my race is. Okay, that takes me to 9 hours and 33 minutes. So that'll work. Save workout, and then done. And then I just hit send to device, send to device. I think you have to sign into the app first. Let's see, go to more, training, workouts. It's this one. It says it goes for 9 hours, 33 minutes. Make sure I did it right. Okay, so then now when I go to my watch, I'll go here and then I go to run, push that, and then I push this left button. And then I go down to training, workouts, and then it's right here with the little blue dot on it because it's gonna be the first time I'm using it. And then I just do workout and then I start my watch when I'm ready. That was a lot easier than I thought. I have an hour now before I'm supposed to get started. I just finished folding my laundry. I'm going to start prepping all of my food for, I keep wanting to say the race, for my long run. And I think I need to go charge my phone because if I'm going to record little bits and pieces, probably need to do it on my phone. I would love to bring this camera, but I don't want to carry it. And I'm not going to wear a vest. So normally I would wear my vest too, but I'm not going to wear my vest because the loops I'm doing are only 5 miles. And if I need to bring water with me, I'll just bring my hand bottle, which is what I usually bring. Okay, let's go make sure all my food is ready and my outfit's ready. So my husband was supposed to go get potatoes as one of the things that I'm having, and he forgot. So he's running to the store right now to get potatoes, just little baby potatoes. And then I'm gonna boil them. And then I just sprinkle a little bit of salt on them and eat them. They go down really well. It's one of my favorite things to eat at trail races. And it's one of the things I almost always have. After hours and hours of running, you just get so burnt out on sweet things and gels. So I love potatoes. Last week, I tried rice balls for the first time. Just literally got rice and made it into little balls. I'm trying something different this week, mainly because I don't want to make a bunch of rice balls for my race because they fall apart easy. So I saw something at the store that I'm gonna try. I have some Nuun. I actually prefer Scratch, but I didn't want to drive all the way out to REI to get more. So I'm using Nuun as my electrolyte, 1 Clif block. I'll probably end up eating this whole thing. I'm trying to stay away from all of the processed stuff, like I said, especially the gels. And after drinking something sweet for several hours, I just get so burnt out on sweet things and I want salty. So that's why I'm gonna have the eggs, not the eggs, that's why I'm gonna have the potatoes. Then let me show you what else I have. I'm gonna end up putting all this stuff back in the refrigerator. I just wanna make sure I'm pulling it out and have everything on one shelf that I need, so I need to clear out some space. And I just wanted to show you guys what I'm having. So food-wise, the potatoes, Clif block, electrolytes, water, and then instead of rice balls, I'm doing Inari sushi. Before my races, I actually like to have sushi. It's a dangerous thing to pick before races, but I haven't had any problems. So the reason I got these is, I think that's egg, right? That it's like wrapped in. So I ended up grabbing this at Wenco, and it does have, oh, it's fried tofu. Instead of trying to do the little rice balls that kind of fall apart and make a mess with them, I just thought I would try this because they're little tofu pouches with sticky rice in them. This one has sauce on it. For race day, I am most likely not gonna get sauce on it, but I wanted to try it just because if it doesn't upset my stomach, the little bit of sugar and stuff that's in the sauce will probably help me out a little with some energy. And then I have these little mini Cokes. You guys, I stopped drinking Coke, soda, Pepsi, everything about 20 plus years ago because I used to drink like a liter a day and I just cut out Coke completely, to the point where if I drink Coke, it just is too sweet and I don't care for it. But when I was doing the Javelina 100K, I was so hot and I was so thirsty and I needed a caffeine hit. So at one of the aid stations, I was like, sure, pour me some Coke. And it was so good. But the funny thing is, that's the only time I can drink Coke. I still can't drink it like leisurely. I can only drink it when I'm running for many, many hours and I need a little boost. And then I can't drink too much of it. So these are like the perfect size, which I kind of don't like because they're more expensive than the bigger ones. And I would love to do the liter, but when I'm out doing trail runs, it's easier to just throw these in the ice box and then drink them real quick. So the next thing that's kind of weird is my Ensure Plus. My coach is the one who got me to start drinking these because I need to take in, I think it's like 300 to 400 calories an hour. Kind of depends on how much I'm sweating and stuff too, which reminds me I need to get my salt pills out. This is another good thing to have when I don't feel like eating or chewing anymore. I will just down one of these. It takes my stomach a minute to digest it, but once it's down, it gives me the energy I need to get through the next hour because I try to eat every hour. So I have these as well. That way, if I get tired of salty, I'll just have one of these, and then when I get tired of these, I'll switch back to salty. I also have S-caps. It's actually pretty cool right now. It's only 84 degrees. Okay, well, it's 84, but we have some cloud coverage and I'm not starting for another hour, so it's gonna cool off even more. So I don't know how much sweating I'm going to be doing. I might not need my S-caps at all, but when I'm out on the trail running and it's 100+ degrees outside, I'll take 1 to 2 of these an hour, depending on how much I'm sweating, how many electrolytes I'm taking in. We kind of have to play it by ear. When I don't have these, I tend to start to cramp up. But at my last race, I wasn't sweating very much and I was taking 2 of these an hour and they started to upset my stomach. So you have to be really careful with these and test what works for you. So usually I do 1 an hour when I'm sweating a lot and it's 100+ degrees out, I'll do 2. And then every 4 hours, I'll usually take 2 Tylenol, which for sure tonight because I'm kind of sore. That's about it. It's pretty simple. As soon as my husband gets home with the potatoes, I'm gonna go ahead and boil them and then just keep them in a bowl and grab them, salt them a little, and that's that. I'm gonna get all this lined up in the fridge, make it easy for me to get to, and then I'm gonna go get dressed. I almost always run in Lululemon shorts, which is why I have this horrible tan line, but those are my favorite shorts to run in. They don't irritate me. I like how high up they come because I wear this belt with my phone and it'll tend to protect me from the belt rubbing on me. This is something I just purchased recently that I'm really loving because the one that I had before this was from Aloe and I was gonna buy a new one because I needed a new one and it was $100. This is only $40 at Lululemon. I have Lululemon bras, but they tend to chafe and rub too much and then end up giving me like burn rashes. So I got these from New Balance. And I got them on Amazon. They came in a 3-pack and I can't remember how much they were, but they were really inexpensive. And I really love them. They don't irritate me at all and they have nice, good support. And then I will probably start off with a tank top. My favorite thing to run in is a tank top. And this is just our Run Club tank top. Sorry, it's hard to see everything because everything I wear is black. That's what I'm gonna start off in. And then I'll probably end up changing into a long sleeve shirt after just to kind of stay warm because once I start sweating and it gets dark outside, I get really cold really easily. So I want to make sure I stay warm. And then I have my Beats Shocks and then I have my Shocks. I used to have Apple headphones, but I stopped using them for a couple of reasons. One, because sometimes I get so sweaty, they just like pop right out of my ear. Sometimes I would get sweat in them too and they would just kind of start sounding funny. And I also like that these don't cover
cover your ears so you can hear what's going around you still. They're not noise canceling or anything, because when I'm running on the trails, one, you never know. I'm always kind of keeping my eye out for strangers, and there's rattlesnakes. So you can usually hear a rattlesnake before you see them. And I forgot I'm running through the night, and I haven't been nighttime running lately, so I need to charge my lights. I get these on Amazon as well. They come in a 2-pack for like $12 each, if even that. And I like that they're rechargeable. So I'm going to use those. And then I just reminded myself that because I'm running at night, I'm going to run with my pepper spray. It's easy to carry. I have another one though that has a hook, so I need to find it so that I can hook it onto my thing. I'm going to go ahead and get dressed. Actually, I need this too. These are my hand water bottles. I love these. They're REI brand. Honestly, you'd kind of think they might be a little bit less expensive because they're REI and not like any of these other brands, but I think they're like $40 each, but way worth it. So I gotta put those with ice so that they're ready for me, and then I'm gonna get dressed. I forgot to mention my shoes. They are New Balance Rebels, like V3 or something. And they are really old, and I'm gonna probably need to get a new pair before my race. I'm just so used to running with trail shoes. So I'm gonna fill one up with water, one up with electrolyte. I feel like these are a little bit too much for these small little bottles. I don't know if I can break it in half. Ooh, that was easy. When it's really hot, my husband fills this up with crushed ice until it melts. So good. Anyway, I like the soft flasks better than the hard flasks because they're easier to hold and then kind of form to your hand. And then once they get empty, they're just like not even there. I need to clean up my mess now. Oops.
What's your stretch?
It's actually quite gorgeous out, so let's get this thing started. I'm about 1.5 miles out and it is gorgeous outside. Perfect weather, feeling a little bit sore from my steps. Enjoying these walking parts and the gorgeous weather. It's been a little bit over an hour and I'm at 5.37 miles. I'm on that longer 175 meter walk right now. I'm gonna go home, go potty, and get myself some food. At 7 in the morning. Taking off on my second loop. I'm at 5.88 miles and it looks like it's raining over there. But it's so perfect out and I'm realizing that I probably should have brought my lamp. But if anything, if it gets too dark, I know my husband will probably come and bring it to me. So time to run again. Can't really see me, but it's 10:30. I'm about halfway, 21.72 miles, and I'm kind of getting sleepy, and my legs are pretty stiff, and it's time to run again. So see ya at home in a minute. Hey guys, it is 11:46 p.m. Still going. My coach came and drove by and saw me at one point. I think my husband might be taking a nap, and then he's supposed to come with me for one lap, I think, and then ride his bike for some of it. Sorry, it's dark. I'm at 5 hours, 49 minutes, 27.8 miles. Time to run again, and I am dying for a Coke right now. Okay. 25 minutes left. I'm at 39.9 miles and my husband is on the bike following me, which I'm really grateful he is, because we came across that accident. We heard a really loud slam crash, and it was a Jeep that ran into a tree. So I'm glad he was with me. Anyway, here he comes slowly. He's taking his time. It's time for me to run again. Your blur of light. My bike. I have 20 minutes left. 40 miles, 0.2. Okay, 3 o'clock.
Hey guys, okay, so it is actually Friday now. I could not pick up the camera the next day and record a recap because I was just way too exhausted, and the thought of having to look presentable just was not a top priority of mine. So I started the week. I've been super busy all week. I had planned to record my last training block, but I've had so much work going on that I didn't have a chance to do that. So I might record tomorrow's run, which is a 12-hour run. But before I get into that, let's go ahead and recap my 9-hour overnight run. I learned a few things during this run, which is the whole point of doing these runs, is to prepare for race day. So you know how your body's going to react, what you need, and what to possibly expect, and how to get past it and conquer it and get through it. So I think the first lesson that I learned was the timing of my pre-race meal. I normally eat the night before and will be up in the morning and have something light, like toast with peanut butter and honey. But because my run was after dinner, I had my normal dinner of pasta and red sauce, and it was just too heavy and the tomatoes were just too acidic. So I was regretting that choice for about the first 2 hours of my run. My husband was regretting it too, because it was around midnight, I think, when he was going to first join me on the run, and he had planned on running 1 lap with me, but the spaghetti was coming back at him and he had a lot of indigestion. So he ran about a half a mile out with me, and then I told him to just go home and prep the bike so he could do the last lap with me. We both regretted having pasta like that so close to the run. I don't think I ate too much. I think it was just more about the acidity of the tomatoes. So maybe next time I would just put a little bit of oil or something in it and just make a little bit more of a bland noodle and not something so heavy. The next lesson I learned is that I handle chaos pretty well during a long run when I'm trying to focus on just getting through my run, because there were just a few things that threw me off. I came home and some stuff was happening that my husband started telling me about, and I left for my next lap without realizing that I didn't bring my light with me, and it was getting dark out. So I was kind of like, oh shoot, it's gonna be dark, pitch black by the time I get home. But of course, my husband ended up coming and bringing my light. The rest of the footage on that section was still dark because when I tried to shine my light while I recorded, it didn't work. So I had to turn off my light to do a little bit of recording there. But my husband did save the day and come and bring me my light. One of the other laps that I did, my daughter came home and she had some unexpected news, really good news that happened. So she was telling me about that, and I'm trying to listen and engage with her while also trying to pack up my stuff and get out the door again and grab a little bit of a snack. So that time I ran out the door and forgot my water, which my husband realized that pretty quickly and came and brought me my water. And then the weather was not what I expected. It actually drizzled on me a few times, which turned out to be a lot of fun. I kind of got cold and I debated on putting a long sleeve shirt on, but it was good. I ended up just staying in the same tank top all night and enjoyed the cooler weather. Another thing I learned is that support makes a huge difference because, like I said, my husband was paying attention and he ended up bringing me a light as it started to get dark. He brought me my water when I forgot it. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot. I forgot my pepper spray on one of the loops too, and he brought me that. And when he joined me on the final loop on the bike, that was really nice too, because I didn't realize how on edge I was, kind of just trying to listen to everything that was going on around me at that time of night. And my daughter isn't a big fan of me running around at night by myself, but I told her that I was most scared of all the kids riding around on e-bikes at night on the sidewalks, full speed. That was scary because sometimes I was afraid they weren't going to see me and accidentally hit me, but I made it safely. As you saw, there was a car accident too. My husband and I were running and I heard a loud noise and we were talking, so I wasn't really paying attention. And I thought, oh man, that sounded like a shotgun or something. And he goes, no, that was somebody hitting something. And sure enough, a minute later, we came upon that accident. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. It was just one guy in there. But that's the other thing, this street that I was running on, I don't know why there are so many accidents on this street. It's a quiet, good neighborhood, and for some reason, there's just a lot of accidents. I know sometimes it's because there's some roundabouts and people don't make it and end up going off road. But this guy, I don't even know how it happened, but he took down that huge tree. Everyone was okay. It was really funny because one of the other guys that came to make sure everything was okay, because he lived right there, as we were walking away, he kind of looked at us and was like, are you working out? Mind you, it was 2 a.m. So that was kind of funny because I said, yeah, I'm training for a 100-mile race. And he was just like, oh, I used to run. And, you know, we kind of chatted up for a second. And then I was on my way because that was my last lap and I wanted to get it done. I really enjoyed having support. Support is a must. The other thing is that it wasn't as scary as I thought, as in I didn't know if I was going to crash out in the middle of the run. I think it was around 10 o'clock that I actually started to feel kind of sleepy, and I was running and doing like long blinks to try and get some rest. And at that point, I knew that I needed some caffeine in me. So I started drinking my little Cokes after that. And then I was perfectly fine after that. They were enough to give me enough energy to stay awake for the rest of the night. I honestly think that being a mom prepped me for overnight running and sleep deprivation, because if you're a mom, even a dad, staying up all night is kind of in the job description, even when they're older. I feel like I was able to stay in a really good mental state the entire time. I mean, of course, every once in a while I got like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And I'd kind of want to be done with it. But when it came to the last little bit, I was actually at 9 hours, but I wasn't quite to 42 miles yet. And I was feeling okay. So I was like, let's just run until I get to 42 miles to just round it out a bit. So I feel like mentally I was in a good space. I was pretty positive. I don't think I was irritable or mean to my family, because they would tell me if I was. But I ended up being in a positive mood and a good headspace the entire time. I also learned that the things I ate worked for me. The rice, I'm not sure about with the tofu, but I think that's more about the sauce that was on it. I didn't care for the sauce that was on it, so I didn't finish those. I'm going to try them without the sauce on them and see how that works. My nutrition was on point because I never hit a wall. I didn't crash. My stomach wasn't upset. I felt hydrated, and I think there was one point where I kind of started to cramp up a little. So I took one of my salt pills. But other than that, I feel like I have my nutrition dialed in. I think the biggest lesson that I learned from this is that recovery is just as important as the training runs. I haven't been giving myself too much time to recover lately and was really feeling it. And that's why I decided on Sunday that I was going to do nothing. If the house needed to stay dirty, the house needed to stay dirty. I'm beginning to realize that if I don't give myself time to recover, not just physically, but mentally too, I'm not going to be able to keep this up. So it was really nice just kind of vegging out all of Sunday. And then my coach actually came over and we had some dinner and happy hour and did a recap of my run. So recovery is super important too. This run taught me that the little things matter, like timing my food better, that I can handle more than I actually think I can, even when things don't go perfectly. And I'd have to say that having the support makes the biggest difference out there. Overall, gave me a lot of confidence. I feel like I'm on the right track, and I'm actually excited about my next run, which is tomorrow. And it's a 12-hour run, and I'm doing it from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm a little more nervous about this one just because it's during the day, so it's going to be a little hotter out. It's only 3 more hours than what I already did, so easy peasy. That's about it. I know it's a little late in the video, but if you don't know anything about me, I am 49 years old, and I started ultra running about 2 years ago. Have really enjoyed it, and I'm always looking for content about ultra running. So if you guys have anybody that you follow that you think I would enjoy, drop their link down below, because I can binge watch these videos while I'm doing my work. So I would love to hear who you guys watch. So that's it for my 9-hour training run. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next video, but if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to be notified whenever I post a new video, make sure you hit that notification button, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.